stuck in nostalgia like me. I wanna know.
All right. My whammy members. Um, I'm recording this to, I guess, just address a couple things that happened over the last few days. Now, I know a lot of people are riled up and upset about this case, this Latino officer that killed a black man in the car with his family and a little child. And it's tough, and it's people are getting to their boiling points, about this. It's kind of like, well, cops can do whatever they want to do. It looks like that. It seems like that sometimes. Now, it's hard for a lot of people to put on the shoes of other individuals. Um, I noticed that it's very difficult. Some people can do it with ease, some can't. Um, it's a unbiased way of thinking, critical thinking, and what you do is you just, like I said, you really got to put yourself in the shoes um, of both parties. I've been pulled over lots of times. Um, I'm in somewhat of a liberal state too, but I've been pulled over plenty of times and never had a problem except once. And it was bizarre, you know. Um, I was in the back seat of a car, me and my ex-girlfriend actually, and her brother was driving, and he had a tail light out, and cops pulled us over. A woman cop came to the window and asked for license registration. For no reason, 7 cop cars pulled up. Six cop cars pulled up. 7 officers got out, had the car surrounded, pointing guns at me. I was the only black man in the car, black person in the car, period. Was it because I was black? I don't know that. I can't assume that. But I'd had done nothing wrong, and the driver had did nothing wrong, and nobody had any criminal records, nothing. It was a tail light out, but yet they're screaming at the top of their lungs and saying all kind of crazy stuff, um, pointing guns and shaking, um, cursing at us, crazy disrespectful for no reason for a tail light, So, and that woman, that female cop, looked in the car, looked at us and said, "Is there any guns in the car?" Now I had my gun on me and my license. At that point, with them screaming and shaking, they're shaking. Um, I felt to myself, I almost said something, and she goes, "Are there any guns in the car?" And I said, and I stopped. And she said, "What was that?" And I said, "Nothing." And she said, "Are you sure?" And I said, I'm sure, nothing." She said, "Okay." Um, why did I choose to say no? Because I am about 99% sure I'd be dead. They were shaking and screaming. They wanted to kill somebody. or was just trying to show off for the female cop. She was a female cop. She was a pretty female cop, and I think they were just trying to go overboard, backing her up, trying to show off. But these guys are screaming for a traffic stop, shaking, calling us all kind of names, and yes, the N word was said. Okay, to me, towards me, you know, in nigger, if you don't keep your hands on that seat, you're gonna die. I never moved my hand. So, and that was in Washington State. I'll tell you, the city was in Tulalip. Um, Coming from the resort, the casino. So I've experienced it. I've also experienced plenty of other cops where there's no problem. I have a gun on me. Where is it? It's under the seat or it's on my hip. Okay, don't touch it. I won't. And everything goes fine. I had one cop, he grabbed my gun, took it back with him. When he came back, he was so amazed at how clean my gun was. He's like, this is the cleanest gun I've ever seen in my life. And I told him, man, I'm a RSO and blah, blah, blah. And we talked for a little bit and that was it. So most cops I've dealt with were fine except for that one situation. And it can happen. It can happen. So, yeah, people are pissed off. The man said, can I get your license and registration? The man said yes. As he reached for his wallet, he said, I just want to let you know I have a gun and licensed. And he said, well, don't grab it. He said, I'm not. He said, don't grab it, don't grab. Boom, boom, boom. Now, you know how this could have been avoided? This could have been avoided with the man saying, the driver saying, I have a gun on me legally. Now, the cop said license registration. What he could have done is said, okay, sure, I'll grab my license and registration. I just want to let you know I have a gun on me though, and keep his hands on the steering wheel and wait for further instructions. You can say, well, he already gave him an instruction, but he didn't. He gave him the instruction before knowing he had a gun. Okay, and so if he license registration, sure. If he would have grabbed his license registration and handed it over with, his permit, then and put his hands on the steering wheel, sir, just want to let you know that I have a firearm. That wouldn't have happened. If he would have said, license registration, hands on steering wheel, sure, but sir, before I reach for that, I want to let you know I have a gun on me. It probably wouldn't happen. Is that an excuse? No, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse at all. It's just I'm saying this because we don't want any more dead, and so I just want to put that out there for everybody and anyone. You get pulled over, let them know, but let them know in a proper way. And they're nervous. They're nervous on every traffic stop, not just stopping black people. They're nervous, period. Cops get killed by whites, blacks, Hispanics, Muslims, Christians, Jews, everything. And so Samoans, so they it's always scary for them. And I'm being real. If I was a cop and I pulled up, I'd be nervous probably on each one. I'd have confidence, but I'd be a little nervous. And you need to be on your P's and Q's, But my point, like I'm saying, it's not an excuse. You ask the man for his wallet, and then he says, I just want to let you know I have a gun. If he's telling you I legally have a gun, and my license, and he's reaching after you just told him, that's almost I mean, that's common sense, really, for the most part. To me, it is. That adds up to me as, okay, this is a law-abiding citizen here, who legally owns a firearm, and he's letting me know. A man who's gonna let you know he has it, let you know he has his firearms license, his firearm on him, and speaks respectively, and you tell him to grab his wallet, and he's reaching and telling you this at the same time. No, he's probably not gonna shoot you. Okay, like 99.9%, he's not going to shoot you. That's what the criminals and the thugs do. That's what the idiots do, not the law-abiding citizens that have earned the right to, have their concealed license because they're responsible individuals. So, that's my take on it, and it just sucks. Um, and everyone is feeling some type of way about it, and I completely understand. All of us do. All of us are bothered by it. Most of us are. Some of us aren't. And if you're not, that doesn't mean that I hope your kid dies in a car crash. That's nonsense. Okay. You disagree with me about something, wishing death on somebody's ignorant. That don't Let's not do that. That's not cool. Um, and and let's try to be a little more open and understanding. You know, um, I wrote a poem years ago where I said, I understand that it's possible for the truth to be impossible, and to figure out the truth is an open-minded obstacle. And so we have to be open-minded. And if you want to reach somebody, somebody disagrees with you on something, and you want to try to reach that person to understand your point of view, you got to go about it, um, in a respectable way. Um, you know, let's not go to name calling. Um, all that disrespect is not that's not cool. So, um, yeah, I just want to put that out there, guys. I didn't have any rules put up because up until this point, everybody knew how to conduct themselves, and disagree and agree to disagree, and like adults, and just go on about your business. But I mean, I don't get me confused here. I do completely understand the passion, that many have about this case. You know, it's like I said, boiling points. You know, people don't know what to do anymore. It's not like, it's almost like a lot of people are scared to go anywhere. You know, cop pull you over, people are scared. Black people been scared police pulling them over anyway. For years. Now this stuff that you're seeing now has been happening for a very long time. We know that. We just didn't have cameras before, and I think a lot of people didn't believe what we were saying. And when I say we, I mean, urban inner city. Um, we would tell them, we're getting it's messed up out here. We're getting disrespected, spit on. You know, drugs getting planted on you, all kind of stuff. So it's been going on. It's real. It's not fake. I know it sounds crazy, but it really happened. So that's really all I have, you guys. I just want to say thank you to everybody, for making Whammy the environment that it is, because it is a great, great environment. Um, and words getting around, and um, we're becoming the gold standard for the neutral zone. There's not a lot of places that people can go to where it's as neutral as it is in Whammy. We have men, women, black, white, uh, Asians, really just about every race and creed and culture is in Whammy. And we all are in here, um, you know, being respectable people, and not agreeing on everything. That can't happen. That doesn't even make sense. No, no amount of you get a large group of people together. It's going to be disagreements. There's going to be disagreements in your household. You know, it's going to be disagreements with uh, your significant other. It's going to be disagreements everywhere. So, um, but you guys make it a great place, and let's continue that. You know, we don't want to jeopardize um, the reputation that you guys have created for Whammy. We're the hey, you wanna get a real good outlook and opinion on something, go post it in Whammy, and you'll find out um, some very non-biased information, because that's what we do here, and we can all live together. You know, um, our common thing that brings us together is firearms, the Second Amendment, self-protection, hunting, competition shooting. That brings us together. But we're a whole. I mean, we're bigger than the Second Amendment. It's not just Second Amendment. You know, um, there's lots of different subjects, like this subject. The police officer, and I mean it has to do with guns, but I mean, it's more along the lines of what are we gonna do so that this doesn't happen again. So I think that's where we gotta aim, and we gotta realize the cops get trained. We have to touch higher up. Okay, we have to touch higher up. There's rules that they have to go by, and if they don't go by those rules, they get fired. You see, if a police officer gets in a situation where he has to fire his gun and he shoots the guy in the leg on purpose, he's gone. And a lot of people are like, well, because people ask that, how come they don't shoot him in the leg, shoot him in the arm, some other chance to survive rather than center mass. And they're trained that way. That's what they're trained to do. And if you don't do it, if you purposely shoot at an arm, shoot at a leg, a foot, you're gone. You're gone, and probably sued and out of here. And it's less a headache to kill somebody, and that's crazy, right? Um, for some it's crazy, for some it's not. But just make sure we aim higher when we think about the changes that need to be made. You know, we got to go to the ones creating the rules and the laws and the rules of engagement for the police officers, and training them, and change and fix that and adjust it. Okay. Um, I didn't mean to, if I disrespected anybody, I didn't mean to. I know I said, wishing death on someone or their kid is ignorant. Which, I mean, it is. I mean, it's not you don't it's not cool to do that at any time. Um, but I understand the frustration and the anger, you know, of hearing, uh, someone, it sounds like it sounds like you're hearing from someone that a guy deserves to die, who was a responsible, um, civilian with a family and a little daughter. And for someone to say that they deserve to die would probably set someone off, and they would think, well, that person deserves to die. Do you think your family member deserves to die? Trying to put that foot on the other shoe. I understand that, but we don't want to wish death on nobody. Not We're not doing that in Whammy. That's not We're not doing that. Okay, so um, you guys just let's keep it going. Let's keep it what it's been, and keep the standard high. And people will be coming to us here to seek out the unbiased outlook on situations. This is Whammy.